Greetings, people of the
Reverend
interwebs.
Spaceman.
He's Reverend Spaceman. I'm Jake, your host, and this is my other co-host, Jordan.
Hello, hello.
Dave
And
has been murdered.
he's been murdered.
By us.
Yeah, by us. So it's on tape. Feel
Group
free to
effort.
persecute us.
We just said that. I confess to it.
Yep.
And Jake also did.
Yeah. Jordan is safe though, because he didn't actually commit to it. But anyways.
He said yep.
I did it.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
All three of us are guilty.
Wash my hands of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The glove
Anyways.
doesn't fit.
So this is a podcast where we'll be going over Rogue One trailer, our thoughts on Batman v Superman, and then probably Daredevil Season 2, our thoughts on that as well, depending on time.
And then I want to bitch about a thing.
He will. So
I'll make room for it.
let's dive right into this. Initial thoughts, Reverend Spaceman, Rogue One, go.
It looks fine. I wasn't.
He's the Dave of this
I mean,
podcast.
I'm not like a Dave, but it looks good. It's not. I wasn't blown away by it. Like I saw a lot of things that look very promising.
Okay, Jordan.
I agree with that to an extent. I like how it is Star Wars, but it's taking a whole different tone
Yeah.
with that trailer. There's not the upbeating Jedi, the
Mm-hmm.
fight. You know, it's definitely that spy thriller that also would
it's
be
a war movie.
Yeah, you know, would be a normal plot for another action film.
Yeah.
It's an expanded universe
yeah.
plot for the main,
Yeah.
like.
So
It's Star Wars,
the
but it
main
doesn't
thing.
feel Star Wars at times.
Yeah.
I
like
personally really like the trailer, and I was actually really surprised that they didn't like have any Darth Vader in it, because I was like, okay, they confirmed Darth Vader's going to be in it. He'll be
Is
a
he
presence.
confirmed?
Yes. And so
How
like,
much of that we don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It might just be a cameo, or maybe
I think
maybe he's the guy with the hooded clothes.
It's possible.
And maybe that's Hayden.
That seems to be the speculation.
Oh, it's Hayden.
But regardless,
I
like
wanna
there
know-
wasn't like a definitive presence of Darth
Yeah.
Vader, which I'm actually all for, because I think that shows Disney and Lucasfilms are confident. They're like, this movie's going to be good. We don't even need to market Darth Vader in this first trailer. Now, I can guarantee he'll be in probably the second one.
Maybe he's just getting luked.
Huh?
Maybe he's just getting luked.
That's possible.
Or Spider-Man.
But I think, for me personally, that shows that they're confident. They're not going to be like, hey, here's Darth Vader, your classic villain. They're like, here are the new characters, here's the story, you're going to love it. And I like what you're saying about like how it feels like Star Wars, but also a completely different tone.
Like, if you just listened to the trailer,
Mm-hmm. Aside from
you-
like that intro music,
yeah, it's like you could almost kind of say it could be
it could be
just a normal
yeah.
action war type film.
But I also love that this
But a
will
good
be a
Yeah.
a war movie.
Yeah.
Like they even got people from like Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, all these war.
It reminded
movies
me
to,
of a
like-
Spielberg trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's some very, like, I like the ground shot of looking up at the AT-AT.
I know, and you see like the
That is-
soldiers scrambling.
Yeah, that's my favorite shot in the whole
Yeah,
trailer.
and I know a lot
I
of people
like
are probably going
Jack
to complain
Robot
and be like,
does.
"I want to see Jedi." Everyone wants to see Jedi, but I
Yeah.
think I want to see this movie where like regular people. This is
aimed a little more at an older audience.
and this is a world
Yeah.
without the Jedi and what normal people in the galaxy.
yeah,
are
it's like,
dealing
what do you do when there's
Yeah.
no lightsabers going around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I want to see how
Do
these
they use the
people-
restroom? Do they eat?
Yeah.
We don't know.
I want to see how they take down these AT-ATs, or do they take them out? Maybe they all get blown away.
Maybe everyone dies.
Yeah, maybe everyone dies.
They might, because, like, where are these people in episode 4 if they don't?
Yeah.
Unless this...
Also, I love that scene. Two scenes in particular. One of which is when they show Jen Erso.
I don't know. Why are you looking at me?
Jyn Erso, I
Yeah,
think.
Jen Erso.
Jake was looking at me.
Because you're the Star Wars
You're the expert.
Yeah.
Wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt.
Yeah.
And being more of a Star Trek fan. But anyways, I like that scene. Like, she's clearly a rebel, but I think she like goes beyond a rebel, because even like I think the rebels, when they're presumably recruiting her for this mission, they're kind of like, she is so much of a rebel we can't even control her.
Hashtag 2 rebel, 4 rebel.
Yeah.
Similar
Let's get
to a
that
little
going.
guy I like to call
Number
Han
2.
Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo. Because basically, they're kind of like criticizing her, I guess, and like some of the things she's done, like been imprisoned and stuff like that. And she's like, "I'm a rebel. It's what I do." Or she's like, "I rebel." It's kind of like that actually is kind of a Han Solo response. It's like,
Yeah.
"It's what I do, man." But I love that scene where you see her like fighting those stormtroopers and just beating the crap out of them. And then that other scene where you see that blind guy played by Donnie Yen just like a samurai go in and 'cause, like,
I'm thinking he's some kind of force
yeah,
sensitive.
he's got to be force sensitive.
You gotta have some force sensitive
yeah.
people in this
Yeah.
movie.
Maybe not a Jedi. He doesn't need to have a lightsaber, but
And
Probably
it's
some.
and it's not unprecedented to have a blind Force user in the Star Wars universe, whether
Yeah.
it be canon or non-canon.
Or Kanan.
Yeah, or canon, because apparently he was blinded in.
And Matt Murdock.
Yeah, and Matt Murdock. Yeah, who knows? Maybe this is the Matt Murdock of the Star Wars universe.
Kanan,
Could be.
Yeah, Kanan.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. One thing that I do hope they do, especially if Darth Vader is going to be in it, whether he's like in it for 5 seconds, 5
I want
minutes.
to know if his opinions have changed on sand.
I can't imagine they've changed.
Not at all.
But what I hope happens
Of course. Rough. Gets everywhere.
I hope
Oh,
they,
any little sandstorm coming tonight.
Hey.
Better get home.
I hope they have at least one scene, like where Darth Vader just ruthlessly like cuts down a bunch of rebels, like in like Vader Down. I don't know if you guys read
Yeah.
that. That was amazing. Or even in like the main Star Wars series, where like Vader's just kind of like, oh, the rebels are attacking our base, whatever, and he's just an unstoppable killing machine.
There was a lot of that in Lords of the Sith,
Yeah,
too.
I want to see that. Where like these people, like maybe they're going across like down a hallway, they've got the plans for the Death Star. They're like, haha, we're home free. Going around a corner and then just yeah, and they're like, shit. Then he just whips it out and just starts, cutting them down. That would be awesome.
He needs to use his lightsaber like his pinata or a baseball bat and just start taking
Yeah.
heads off.
Yeah.
Or
Chopping
like-
wood.
Yeah.
just hacking away.
Thorn it.
So that's like my main thing that I'm hoping for in this movie, and I think it's possible because again, it's a darker war movie, and also we didn't really get a good chance to see Darth Vader in his prime, like again, like in Lords of the Sith. Even though I haven't read it, I've heard a lot of things where this is Darth Vader in his prime, and he is a
That's
cold-blooded
yeah.
killing. He is basically like the T-1000 from Terminator, where
Pretty much.
you just keep throwing things at him.
It's
and he is-
basically him becoming that. Because there's
Yeah.
a little bit of at the beginning where he's kind of not that, and then he becomes it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like solidified in this film.
Yeah. And again, in Vader Down, he crash lands on this rebel-controlled planet, and they're kind of like, haha, we got him! They're blasting him. He's just like, whatever. He's swatting them away like flies.
Yippee.
Especially the end to that issue, where he's...
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah. I want to see that.
I want him to say that.
And that in his voice now, doing
Yeah.
episode 1
It'd be amazing.
dialogue.
And maybe at some point he just randomly shouts no, just to be very Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Just, no!
I was going to eat that.
Don't
Yeah.
know how, I was going to.
Yeah. I don't know. Any other thoughts on Rogue One before we get into
Well,
the
how
Batman
how long do we think Vader will be in it?
Quicksilver is a future past, is what I'm saying.
I could see that. Like, not a cameo, but like he's in, like he's a prominent figure in like say one scene. Like he's there.
I'm thinking that'll be towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be whatever,
Let's
the
say
plot, whatever's happened
Yeah.
in the plot so far. It's
like,
going to be some.
especially if it's because I've heard like the rumor since Donnie Yen's character, like the blind, presumably force
The
sensitive
Daredevil
person.
one.
Yeah, the Daredevil guy. Like he could be like he maybe is aware of like who Vader is, and maybe like he's the kind of noble figure that gives his life for him. Like they come across Vader, he's like, I got this, you guys go, and then maybe he puts up a fight. Probably not, because he's blind and Darth Vader's a cold-blooded killer. But maybe it'll be one of those things where he's just kind
They'll
of
just
like,
be messing with him big over here.
yeah. so yeah, I think that'll be Vader's extent to the.
Seeing Forrest Whitaker in the trailer,
Oh.
that's one reason that kind of threw me off. It's like I've seen him in so many other films, and I
Yeah.
just never really connected him with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not that it makes it bad in any way. I guess that's
'Cause he's a
one
really
of the
good
things
actor.
that reminded me of it. This just being like its own little spy war film.
Yeah, and I've heard that he's a bounty hunter or someone of like kind
Well,
of
yeah, he's a Clone War
questionable allegiance.
former like guy who was around during the Clone
Yeah,
War
like, he's
era,
seen
so he
some
knows. He's kind of like their old Ben in a way.
Yeah.
I think.
So I think that'll be interesting to see his whole, just his character in general, because he kind of has like this mishmash of like armor pieced together, almost like he's
Yeah.
a scavenger, or like
Do something.
maybe he is kind of the old Ben of this movie, where he lives by himself and just kind of scavenges like armor and scrap metal and pieces together armor from it.
Watch him get
For
killed
some
first
portions.
time,
He needs some portions.
Yeah,
then he can be the Max von Sydow.
You're so right.
yeah.
So all we got.
Ray theories.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people are saying that
Jen
Jen
Erso.
Erso is going to be Ray's mom. I don't think it's unlikely. It's possible.
I think
But-
the timeline doesn't match up.
Yeah.
Is kind of my
Grandmother, maybe.
yeah. I
But
think she's.
then-
It's like Ray would have to be like closer to 30 in episode 7.
Yeah. When she's like 20.
She's supposed to be 19. She's supposed to be 19, so she's supposed to be like close to 30, more like Kylo's age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. Like there are several similarities you can point out, but I don't know if they want to do that.
I think people are just jumping in conclusions.
maybe- yeah, it's like
that
maybe
she's a strong female lead, and they're like, oh, strong female lead, female lead. They have to be related.
Yeah. It's like they have the
And-
same accent and they
Yeah.
kind of look similar.
And I'd prefer them to not be related just because they're like shrinking this massive universe.
I'm gonna respond the same way Harrison Ford responded when asked who shot first. I don't care.
Yeah. It's just gonna be
Nah.
speculated for
I
8
don't
months.
think it's so much a theory, but I heard a speculation where someone was like, I think Jen Erso might, like, because at the end of the trailer you see her in, like, the Imperial armor, presumably
Yeah.
infiltrating. They're like, what if she goes dark and she becomes Phasma? And I'm like, no. Because that would mean Phasma's pushing, like, 80
Yeah.
by The Force Awakens. And I know, like, in this future they've got, or in this galaxy far, far away.
It was a long
People
time
cannot
ago.
be that stupid to think that's right.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, even with their, like, advanced technology, someone who's, like, pushing 80, I don't think would be that, like... Granted, she didn't do a whole lot in the movie, but...
it makes sense now. So
Yeah, maybe that's
that's
why.
actually the explanation for
Yeah.
why the character didn't do much.
But no, I like, automatically rejected that theory. Like, when someone brought it up, I was just like, nope.
The other theory I saw, which I don't believe, was the Han Solo connection. It's
What's
like
the Han Solo connection?
that Han and Jen got hooked up and had Rey.
No.
Yeah.
They were just saying that because of the similarities between those two characters
Yeah.
and just like how
Maybe she's
the way
TR-AR's
the
mom.
the way
Traitor.
the way Han acts towards Rey when he first meets her, it's like that's he's reminded of his ex-wife or whatever
These are the
they
theories
were.
where it's like, you gotta have some kind of groundwork
Yeah.
instead of just being like, oh, they're kind of
I don't buy it.
similar.
That's just something
Yeah,
I
neither
read
do I.
before
That's
we
like the
started.
Snoke Vader theory.
Yeah, it's like, no,
Which is-
Vader's pretty much dead.
Yeah.
He is very dead.
I like Mr. Sunday's video on that. Evidence
pretty
against
good.
this. He died.
Yeah.
Number 2, we know he's dead because we
But,
saw his ghost.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Yeah.
there's his body burning to death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with the timeline, it's most likely that Luke and her, cross paths. Obviously, do we know if it led to more?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. Same with Han. Maybe, maybe not. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably something that if they
that's
do
about the closest
elaborate
thing
on,
you can find evidence
Yeah,
wise.
and if they do elaborate on that, it'll probably be like in the comics or one of the novels or
Yeah.
something like that. It's not something they'll delve into in the movies. But yeah, I guess moving on into Batman v Superman. So you all start this off because you felt more positively towards it than I did.
Well, Jake, you are wrong in your opinion.
Fair enough.
We've both seen it twice now. The two of us and Kevin Smith both liked it better the
and
second
Ben
time.
Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're friends with both of them. We hang out
Obviously, yeah.
regularly, but they're too busy to be on our podcast. So,
Yeah.
Quit begging these people. They're not going to show up.
Maybe one day he'll let us be on Fat Man on Batman.
Maybe. But,
All
anyways,
right.
continue.
It's not perfect.
By no means.
By no means is it perfect. It's kind of a mess.
It's a jumbled mess, but
Very
there,
much
you can
so.
still find beauty in it.
Yeah.
I thought the first hour was a little confusing at times, but I enjoyed the last hour and a half a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say there was things wrong with that too, but overall my enjoyment, the last hour and a half or so.
The things I liked outweighed the things I didn't
Yeah.
like. It was really, what it was, is 5 great movies crammed together into one pretty good one.
See, I agree
And-
with a lot of what you're saying, but I'm kind of like there are more things that I disliked versus liked, and I do feel like there were, and I think that was part of the problem as to why it felt so jumbled. Is there were almost like 5 different storylines because there was like a direct sequel to Man of Steel, there was a solo Batman movie, there was like
Justice League.
basically Justice League movie, Death of Superman was in there, and it's kind of like. And again, there were like one thing.
Look
that
how
did,
great we are. We're combining all of this for you.
Like one thing that I did really like about the movie is it is very comic booky. Like it is
Yeah.
tailor made for
really-
comic book readers.
I actually made the comparison that it feels like just picking up a comic book and reading it in the middle of a story arc without having read what's before it.
Yeah.
And that works for people like us who are comic book savvy and read comics.
Except it doesn't work for you, apparently.
But okay, that wasn't my issue because I like the fact that it is like because again I picked up on all the
Pause
references.
this. Go watch it a second time, and then this will be
No,
a
like,
whole different
I
conversation.
think my opinions are warranted, so hear me out.
they're not.
I mean, let me finish with, at least with the positives.
You liked Fan Four Sticks. So.
That is not true. That movie's a steaming pile of shit.
I have my own steaming pile of shit to talk about later, but continue.
But anyways, okay, so that was one of the things that I liked. It was very comic booky. I loved Ben Affleck as Batman, which I never thought I would say. But
Best
he won
on-screen
me over.
Batman.
Yeah. Very uncharacteristic, though, because he's a cold-blooded killer, just ruthlessly, like, killing people.
I was digging
That was my issue with
anytime
it.
Batfleck was on screen.
Yeah.
I'm willing to believe that he just went crazy after Robin was killed. I would have liked a line of dialogue referencing
yeah.
it, but
You mean Jared Leto?
Yeah.
sure.
So, that was one of my issues with the movie. And that was a small detail that they could have either fixed with just one little line of dialogue, or... I mean, they kind of hinted at it, like, where Alfred was kind of being nitpicky with them and stuff
I
like
noticed
that.
that a lot more the second time, actually.
Yeah, Alfred is
Alfred's-
he's not afraid to call Batman out on his shit and be like,
That's-
hey,
yeah.
you're dumb.
I noticed him doing that a lot more the second time.
Yeah.
Because the first time I was like, yeah, Alfred.
Mhm.
But the second time he really was like,
This was one of my favorite live
Yeah.
adaptations
yeah,
of
probably
Alfred.
the best one. 'cause-
Well, him and
Jeez.
Bruce are so similar to age in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of...
But,
Yeah, that was like
also,
the-
But also with like
That's the only thing that like
previous
didn't add
iterations,
up.
even the Michael Caine one, he's that kind of just very loyal servant
Yeah.
where even if he doesn't agree with what Batman or Bruce is doing, he's like, well, okay, I'll let you go kill yourself.
And Michael
It's
Caine
what it's what Master Wayne wants.
Yeah.
And Michael Caine was way too serious as
Yeah.
Alfred. I liked this. This Alfred was a little snarky.
Yeah, he had those, like, again, he was not afraid to tell Batman, like, again, when he's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to start a war with Superman, he's kind of like,
Be
what?
prepared.
But it's like, you realize he's a god? That's pretty dumb. And again, I get Batman's mentality, like, his whole rationale of, like, wanting to take down Superman. But I feel like, overall, most of the motivations for all the characters were, like, not really there. It's just like this... And I guess, like, again, one of my biggest issues with the plot, it could have been so simple as, like, Superman, you know, and, like, the ideological differences between the characters. Even in the comics, they clash. Like, what they could have done, just easy fix, is, like, Superman flies into Gotham, like, Batman's, like, beating some thugs up, and Superman, like, lands, he's like, hey, so, I don't like the way you're doing this. And then Batman's like, I don't like you being in my home turf. And just, like, a little confrontation like that.
They do that, though.
They do, but I think it could have been done better, because, like, Lex Luthor's goons, like, make away with the kryptonite, and Superman does not, like... I don't know, I feel like they just could have done a better job setting that up, but instead it's, like, this weird convoluted mess where Lex Luthor's like, I'm gonna manipulate them to fight each other, haha, because I'm the weird kooky guy.
I will say, this time, I did a little experiment my second time watching it, which was earlier today.
Okay.
Every time Lex Luthor spoke, I imagined it as Bryan Cranston in my head. And literally, like, it's the same dialogue. There's nothing wrong with his dialogue. It is just his performance. His dialogue is very Lex Luthor.
Well, not even so much his performance, it's just he was terribly... Like, Jesse Eisenberg was miscast as Lex Luthor.
Mine was the opposite. When I watched him, I couldn't get Jim Carrey's Riddler out of my head.
See, I think, he was originally supposed to play Jimmy Olsen.
Yep.
And apparently it was one of those misdirects where, because they wanted a bigger actor to play Jimmy Olsen because he got shot in the face in North Africa. Which I didn't even know that was Jimmy Olsen until, like, after the movie. And so it's like, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You could have had Daniel Day-Lewis playing Jimmy Olsen, but, like, they didn't establish who it was, so, like, you would be like, what? Daniel Day-Lewis get shot in the face? But then apparently somehow or another, they were like, instead of Bryan Cranston, let's get him. And it's like, no, that was your first mistake right there. Now, again, I like the fact that Jesse Eisenberg committed to the role. His performance was not... Again, he did fine. It's just...
It's not Lex Luthor.
It was not Lex Luthor. And I'm going to be honest, I fucking hated that. Like, it got so annoying where he's just kind of like, ooh, Batman and Superman, the kooky, I'm the weird guy.
Do not pick a fight with this person.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, God. It's awful. And then that weird scene where he fed that guy a Jolly Rancher.
That was one of the scenes that got chuckle out of me. I won't lie.
What is going on?
Made me want some
Yeah, and then
John
that.
Richards.
God.
It's like I respected his dedication
Yeah.
to the role, and it's
I'll
just,
give him that, but he was
It's not-
terribly
like it's not so
miscast.
much. Yeah, it's not so much his fault.
No,
It was
again,
just,
I'm not
it's-
blaming Kim. It's just
He's just miscast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was my biggest one of my biggest complaints is the miscasting of him.
yeah.
so
But
again,
I liked what they were trying to do with this character.
Yeah.
like he was probably the more like at the heart of his character. He was the most menacing Lex Luthor we've had in a live adaptation.
Spacey.
Spacey, I feel like
But
they
Kevin Spacey is just menacing.
true, but I feel like
Yes.
As a
the,
person.
the dialogue made him
He's
seem
such a
bit
great
more
villain, bad guy.
campy
Yeah.
though. Which I granted the movie was more or less an homage to the
Yeah. It can't
Original.
be dialogue on a menacing person where this is menacing dialogue on a campy person.
Yeah, but I love Kevin Spacey, but I think he wasn't menacing enough. I guess more so like performance wise, yes, but like dialogue. But like, we're not going into that movie. But I do think that like if they had someone like Bryan Cranston, who was I think they were originally in talks with.
Everyone wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even said, "Yeah, I'll do it."
No one was like, no. I want Eisenberg, not Heisenberg.
But
Should have had like a Kickstarter account to get him on
yeah.
there.
But like, and again, like some of the things that I did, like the costume designs, most accurate costume for Batman we
I
have
love
ever
that
had.
costume.
And also this
It's
Batman.
got gray on it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
And I'm pretty sure this is the only Batman where like he will not just because he's kind of like not all there mentally, but like physically he looks like he will just destroy you.
The
all the
scene
other-
where he's training.
Yeah, like all the other Batman, like I'm not physically imposing, but I'm like I could maybe hold out for a few minutes, like maybe a couple.
Except George
minutes.
Clooney.
I couldn't fight the bat nipples.
That was supposed to
Stab you in
be
the
a thing to go against his enemies. They just are so fixated on
Yeah.
that, and then he can make his move.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like,
This is the first Batman where I feel like if he had just worn straight up spandex,
Yeah.
he would, it would have looked like Batman. in
yeah,
him.
Yeah,
like he could have just shown up in the back alley. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna.
I did
I'm
like
gonna get
how
that
dark and upset and kind of crazy angry Bruce was
Yeah.
becoming,
Yeah.
and determined to get Superman.
Yeah,
And I'm convinced he was under some kind of influence from Darkseid.
that
At least like a little bit.
I could kind of see that, but until I don't know. I guess until like there's more confirmation, I can forgive the movie a bit more. And I am actually really looking forward to the extended cut.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm hoping that'll kind of like flesh out the story a bit more. Because again,
exactly
they
what it
did
will
have
do.
to cut out so much.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did really like is
I'd cut such scenes as Jesse Eisenberg hanging out in some Kryptonian afterbirth.
yeah, which that scene in of itself is weird, but maybe in the context of like the rest of the movie, that would have made more sense.
Well, I think it does. It's alluding to more Apocalypse and Darkseid
Yeah.
stuff.
Um,
Steppenwolf, I think, is who that might be.
that's
Good
the
band.
popular
Yeah.
rumor.
I hope that's not Darkseid. I hope they
Um,
didn't give Darkseid horns.
I
If
hope
they gave,
not.
fuck them if they gave Darkseid horns.
Another thing that I like,
hear
that I
me?
was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised with, is Wonder Woman.
Wonder
Which,
Gal.
granted,
Woo!
I'm still not entirely convinced on Gal Gadot's acting, because there wasn't enough of it in that movie to where I can comfortably say...
That's what I liked about the movie. One of the
Like,
things I liked,
they
she was
handled it really
sprinkled
well.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't on there
I like
too much and
Yeah.
wasn't too little.
And so,
I liked her a lot.
Even though they wrote
Every
it in
scene
the
she was
trailer-
in, she kind of stole
Oh, yeah, she
the
really
attention,
did,
not
yeah.
just not physical,
Yeah.
but just what she was doing with her character.
But yeah,
you
I
know?
love the scene where like she comes in, she blocks like Doomsday's blast with her bracelets, and you hear that really badass like theme.
Yeah.
Um,
Wonder Woman's here, and she brought her theme music.
Yeah.
It's like, even though we kind of knew it was coming,
It was
still
the
pretty
trailer, I will admit, I was like,
yeah,
man, I'm getting kind of hyped right now.
and
And
probably
then when Superman flies in from the atmosphere,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just cool.
And then, like, people started clapping when
Yeah.
in my audience when
probably one of my favorite
Wonder
scenes,
Woman first came.
Is with Wonder Woman is when like they're in the fight and Doomsday hits her and she goes flying, and as she's getting back up, she has like the smile on her face, like finally,
yeah.
I've got a challenge. And apparently Gal Gadot actually like that was improvised, like that wasn't in the script. So I'm like, I like the fact
See,
that
it
she's-
shows her acting ability.
it shows she's got timing, like she's got good timing. She knows at least what she's doing.
We forgot to mention Jake's being the Dave now.
Yeah,
I've handed Dave's severed head over to Jake. So
yeah, because Dave normally doesn't like the movies that we go see. He doesn't like fun, but this
That's
was the
why
rare.
we murdered him.
Yeah. So I'll be dead next.
Buried him with a Schindler's List DVD.
Yep. But I loved a lot of those scenes, like with Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was a scene stealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the lasso of truth, didn't think they would like use that, but then sure enough, she like lassos Doomsday. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
and it's all glowy and gold. So like, yeah, there were a lot of moments in this movie where I was like really nerding out. I'm just kind of like, yay!
Yeah, I wasn't, going in, I wasn't sure how she was going to be. I was thinking, she's probably just going to be something to look at.
Yeah.
They'll
And she
introduce her.
Yeah.
Then just her being a good character just adds to that even
Yeah.
more.
I
Just
liked her
that
better
she
than
has
Anne
such.
Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises. I like this movie better than The Dark Knight Rises.
I disagree with that, but
Michelle Pfeiffer is the best Catwoman, so let's just stop.
but even that scene when I think it's like before Superman shows up and Batman's talking to Wonder Woman, she's kind of like, "Pfft, I've fought monsters from other dimensions before. Like I like the fact that she was really confident. She wasn't like this. Like even for like a female protagonist, they have like that kind of moment of weakness. They're like, oh, I need help, and she was,
Supergirl.
she was on top of it. She even like cut Doomsday's like hand off. Like she was.
Oh yeah, she
Then he
was.
grew the bone sword.
So like I was all
She was
for.
intense.
Yeah, I was all for those scenes.
It sounds like you're liking this movie better now.
Again, there were a lot of scenes that I liked about it, but as a whole, I was just
I still hate it.
it. I didn't hate it. It was just okay.
How many popcorns?
What's the scale to like a popcorn's like 1 to 5, 10, 1 to 5?
But you can give.
I can come back to you at the end of the
Okay,
review.
yeah. Come back
you
at the end.
think about it.
But yeah, like as I'm sure, hopefully you viewers are not just like sending your hate. You can see, I enjoyed elements of this movie, but as a whole, again, more or less like the story part and the motivations of the characters weren't all there, and like I didn't like the cameos of like the Justice League where it's just in a file. I feel like that could have been done better.
Yeah,
But overall,
it is what it is.
You knew
Yeah.
You knew it had to be kind of short and sweet.
well, I guess like the biggest disappointment was like they were heavily marketing Jason Momoa as Aquaman, like Unite the Seven.
I
So
mean,
I'm
yeah,
like, okay, he'll probably
he's got
be
his own toys for it.
yeah.
He
And
just
so I was like, he'll,
stands there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking at you.
I'm
And
not
so-
gonna stab
I mean,
you.
the
No,
Flash
I'm
is
gonna
in there
stab
was
you.
more.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stab you. No,
And-
yeah.
and so I figured like he'd at least be the biggest of the Justice League cameos, but instead he's just in
But
that
threw us
file.
off.
Exactly how Reverend Spaceman described it. Where
He didn't
he's
say
under,
outrageous once.
Yeah.
0 stars.
he was just in the water
Until his own film.
Then he like broke the
He better say it.
yeah.
He better say it. And he better jet ski on the back of sharks.
No,
With
no,
with Fonzie.
No. Then you're ruining the character. He's a really cool character.
That is the essence of the character.
no
Jet ski on sharks.
Let's.
How is that not awesome?
It's campy.
How is that not awesome?
I don't think it'll translate well into this new universe of the dark and brooding and dour.
See, they're trying to make
DC
some
movies,
things more lighthearted.
which I'm all for.
They're reshooting scenes from Suicide Squad because of that. Because
I feel like
AKA
that's
more Will Smith jokes.
I feel like that's blown out of proportion because every movie, especially these big blockbuster movies,
yeah, but,
have
but
two.
they did announce that they're doing it to add more humor. That's the reason that
Yeah.
they're doing it.
I feel like it was something they already had scheduled, and they're like, we can throw some more jokes in there. That's how I don't think it was like all of the reshoots are going to be jokes. I think it's just like they were going to do some like maybe
No,
action
that's-
sequences, and they're like, we can probably add some more humor.
Well, the critics are being overly harsh about this film.
They definitely are. It doesn't.
That's
deserve
kind of
Yeah.
made me want to defend it even more.
Mhm.
Just because the critics don't know what they're talking
It
about.
doesn't deserve a 29.
Yeah.
Most critics are not comic book
That- yeah,
superhero
that-
fans. They were expecting to see a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
One
a
thing that I
Batman and Superman
do hate
storyline.
though is how a lot of these people are complaining. They're like, "Oh, Marvel ruined all the comic movies because now everything has to be fun and funny." It's like, no, Marvel's doing what they do. That's Marvel.
Yeah.
Fun, lightheartedness. Now, granted, DC are a bit more darker and like grittier, but this movie still could have had a bit more fun
If we talk
because it is
just, like,
superheroes, and especially Superman. I didn't like how Superman was all depressed. It's like, I'm sad. Ah, like the only time he was like
Lois!
happy and had like smile on his face was when he was in the bathtub with Lois Lane. Which understandable if you're in the bathtub with her.
That was another
great.
good scene.
Yeah.
But like,
I, I give that scene a 5 out of 5 popcorn.
Yeah.
But that was the only scene
Were there
where,
words in it? Did they talk?
not a whole lot. It was just,
I didn't know if they talked.
Juicy, buttery popcorn.
Yeah. But that was like the only scene where like he was like had a smile on his face. He's like, I'm happy. The rest of the movie he's like, I'm like a god amongst men. I'm so depressed. What do I do? It's like, you're Superman. Deal with it. Superman from the comics is like, no matter what's going on, he still finds a way to be like kind of chipper and like happy compared to other characters. Like he's not like super over the top happy where it's kind of like, oh, the world blew up, whatever. You dark side, you silly goose. But they could
Toby
have...
says that line in Justice League.
Yeah, just slaps him on the wrist. It's like, you silly goose, go back to Apocalypse.
And then he flies around the crumbled remains of the Earth and goes back in time because that's something he can do.
Yeah, let's see that happen.
Shot for shot remake.
So yeah, like I just feel like they could have had a little bit more fun. Like they didn't have to like.
Yeah.
I did
don't
like the one
disagree.
joke though when Batman saves Martha Kent. I should
Yeah.
specify. And he's like, I'm here, I'm in front of your son. She's like, yeah, I kind of figured the case.
Then just
Yeah.
and then a
I
little
like that.
later, just a little one-liner where he's like, "Been a little busy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I'm like, okay, they've got some humor.
I have a quote. It's right after the film was released. It was just some film Hollywood Reporter guy. He was just saying, "It's just fun. Often there's a disconnect between critics and audiences. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's just an enjoyable afternoon at the movies."
That's fair.
It's just kind of like,
That's a fair opinion.
suck at critics.
Yeah.
Because
I have noticed
Yeah.
all the trailers, the TV spots now have just been like, audiences have spoken, and
Yeah.
all the quotes are from
look
tweets.
at all our money.
Yeah, and all the quotes are from tweets.
Yeah.
Instead
Which,
of,
again, it makes sense, because I do think that the critics have been too harsh on the movie, because even though I thought it was just okay, I feel like they
They took
I
it to
don't know.
another level.
Yeah, they just
It-
took it to another level.
Yeah, that's
so see,
like we
I
said.
don't hate the
There
movie,
are
people.
flaws with it, but the harsh ratings it's received, like I don't even know what it's at on Rotten Tomatoes now.
Yeah.
but
I'd say it should be
it's-
at least in like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, I
at
think
least on Rotten Tomatoes, give it a 50.
Yeah.
As harsh as they are.
But yeah, I think.
I mean,
like,
I think it's IMDb. It might be at a 7.3 now, which okay.
Yeah,
yeah, so I think
fair.
that's a bit more reasonable.
But Jake, you need to see it a second time.
Like one part of me kind
Well,
of wants
that's
to,
the thing.
but
You kind of take in everything, digest what you
Yeah.
saw. Your questions might get answered, might not. It could help. I think it would help your
It would definitely.
your viewing personally because you had a lot of lowered. It's gotten lower in your book.
Yeah. You know
So
what you're getting into.
Yeah,
You kind of. I mean, even
and you
though-
go back and you read stuff, pick up on things like, oh, that is Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, and even though we've all seen the movie before it came out with that second trailer.
yeah, that literally did show the entire movie.
It did.
Which I guess
2.5 minutes trailer, 2.5 hour film.
I think that was probably my biggest issue is they did show for probably the casual moviegoer that didn't bother him. But since we're more,
Yeah.
I didn't let it bother me because I knew.
I tried
that
to not. It didn't really.
That's not.
Like I
anyone-
still knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's not anyone's fault but the marketing department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't know. I
But
guess
I think that scene still speaks for itself. That it was still pretty cool when
Yeah,
Wonder
like-
Woman comes in
Yeah.
after
That
we'd
was-
seen it how many times.
Yeah, that was still pretty cool,
Every time I
and
saw
also
something.
the scene where like Batman goes in that warehouse and just takes out all
Yeah.
those guys.
Very Arkham.
That's something that I don't think we've seen in any other Batman
I just-
iteration.
yeah.
Like he's taken on several people at once, but not like
And they
That-
get branded, baby.
not
Yeah.
that classic Batman style
And he
where
breaks
just,
through the window with like the cape outstretched.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
'Cause it's normally something
It's
you
like,
see
am I
from
watching Michael Keaton now?
Yeah, that's normally something you see from the villains where they break through the wall, but instead,
Yeah.
like the goons are just like, "Oh, where's it coming from?"
Yeah.
And then, bam, grabs a guy and just starts beating him up. I'm like, "Yeah!"
I just like how this Batman was similar to the comics. He does
Yeah.
a lot of detective work.
Yeah.
He adapts with his
He-
suits and his armor.
he could have done a bit more detective work because he was
So
easily
could have Christian
duped.
Bale.
True.
Hey, Christian Bale did that thing where he pulled a bullet out of the wall and like put it back together in a computer or something.
Yeah, but
That was weird.
I feel like Batman being the world's greatest detective, he could have easily figured out if he was being duped by
There wasn't
Lex
enough
Luthor.
time because they had to set up the Justice League and show Superman crying.
And there was no Morgan Freeman to tell him what to do.
pissing jars.
Yeah, that scene, like, I feel like that scene, like, I was actually excited, like, when I saw that scene in the trailer, because I'm like, okay, cool, they're addressing some of the issues from Man of Steel, even though I love that movie. It's still one of those things where you do have to address
I like
the
this
fact
movie
that-
more.
I like Man of Steel more, but
I think
that
I like this one
scene-
more just because when I went back,
Not
and
saying
watched,
it's a huge thing, but
when I went back and watched Man of Steel, I think I saw a little of the issues more, mainly with Pa Kent.
well,
I mean, I still
didn't
like
really
Man
it
of Steel, but
I like
I
Man of
like this
Steel.
film.
either.
I
Yeah.
think they really fucked up Pa Kent though.
Yeah,
going
like,
back and watch it, they
I was really
fucking-
bummed about that. It's just kind of like I feel like even if I were Superman, I'd be like, I know you told me to stay, but no. But like that scene where like he's being like at like where he's at court and they're kind of like holding that big press conference and stuff like that. Like I feel like that would have worked better if the media were kind of like, oh, it is Superman, but they're like, oh no, it's not Superman. It was the guy like that veteran or whatever. And it's like that scene was completely inconsequential. I thought it would add more to the story, but instead it's just like, here's a scene where the place gets blown up.
Well, he does come back and he's like, I couldn't save him. I thought I could.
More depressed Superman that I don't want to see. Where he's just kind of like
Emo soups.
it's so sad.
Well, maybe, spoiler alert, when he stops being dead, he'll be a little more chipper.
Which what did you guys think about like the ending of Batman v Superman?
I actually didn't know if they'd do it.
I'll give him the balls to kill, in quotation marks, to kill Superman.
I knew as soon as it happened that he was coming back.
Yeah,
I didn't,
but that's I guess.
Yeah,
the
but I didn't know
problem-
how long it would take because like
but that's
once
all-
they started doing that thing, I was thinking, okay, a movie will be over right
Yeah.
now. Okay, then now, and then they have like the jail scene with
Yeah.
Batman and Luthor. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe after this. So like
I
it
did
kept
like all
going
these
on a
endings
little
better than
longer
Charlie
than
King.
I thought.
You shut your poor mouth.
I like this movie better.
I didn't have to
than
pee the
Return
whole
of
time during this ending, so I enjoyed it more than Return of the King's ending.
You guys are being assholes.
Yeah. the King. Yeah, we are.
But like, I guess that was like, okay. Here's the thing: like, by again, quotation marks, killing Superman, it has no validity. It has no emotional impact because we know he's coming back to life.
Well, there's
and
no
the
way-
people who, for whatever reason, are dumb enough and they're like, oh, they killed off Superman, what? And don't know that he's coming back. It's like when he does come back in Justice League, then they'll be pissed off. They're like, oh, you can't just kill him and bring him back. It's like, well, that's
they
comics.
Know, they know he's coming back because of the dust.
I imagine not. I imagine there's people
No,
dumb enough.
there's just an earthquake coming in town.
Yeah.
So
Like, I imagine most people are intelligent enough to pick up on that, but there's got to be some people, a very small amount, who are probably like,
well, there's
he's
people
dead?
that left like when he died.
Yeah.
People just walk out of the theater. Who knows?
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom,
Um,
get a head start on traffic.
Yeah. So I actually didn't like, hats off to him for, again, killing him, but at the same time, like, why bother? Because then you'll have to, like, detract from the story.
This means Batman won.
Yeah.
There,
They'll have to detract from the story of Justice League to be like, oh, Superman, you're back. How did you survive? And then it's like, here's
magnets.
I don't know.
That should
Superman.
That should be his explanation. Just magnets.
Sure.
Just be like, how are you back to life? Magnets. All right, let's go. Do the thing.
Yeah, he'll be Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny. It's like, I like magnets.
Ghouls.
Ghouls. Milkshake.
I think we left him in that coffin a little too long.
I would actually like that if they...
Brain damage. There we go. That's Bizarro. He comes back as Bizarro.
That'd be a
Then
great
the Flash-
start to the next one.
Played by Charlie Day.
Yeah, then he comes back as Bizarro, brain damage. Then the Flash travels to another dimension and brings Superman from there. It's like, hey, we got another Superman.
Yeah.
That's two.
Why not?
All right. Well, what about the actual Batman v Superman? A lot
like
of
the fight.
people were complaining. It's like, well, they only fought for however many
It was
minutes.
a
I thought it was
good-
supposed to be Batman v Superman.
It was a good fight, but I will say... And I know that's all the marketing. It wasn't supposed to be like the whole movie.
I know that's
But-
a thing that's
I felt like
gotten
they
the negative
still could've
reviews from it.
Had them fight more. And honestly, I didn't like the fact that there was a definitive winner. Like, granted, Batman doesn't fight... he fights dirty, but I still would have preferred if, like, there was more of a stalemate, and then...
Well, they
that's when
both got
Doomsday
some good
shows up.
punches in, though.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where, like, Batman, by fighting dirty, was the definitive winner by having, like, that spear, and he's kind of like, I'm gonna kill you! Martha! What? Our moms have the same name? Oh, okay,
yeah.
you're
That's why
cool.
this movie should have been released Mother's Day.
Yeah. Hey, Man of Steel was released Father's Day. So there you go.
See, they were smart. They
Yeah.
were done Mother's Day because it's like the only reason
And all the Marthas
it ends
out
because
there would have been...
this is their Martha.
They would have been so joyful. They were like, "Yay! This might as well
man.
be Martha's Day."
Martha,
I don't know. What if
Martha,
one of those...
why'd you say that?
What if some of those goons that Batman murdered had mothers named Martha?
See, we don't know that. Like, what if one of those goons, as he's like beating the crap out of him, beat
Mother
him to death,
Martha.
they're like, Martha! Like, well, teeth and blood are flying out, and he'd be like, ah! Ah! And then
This
he does
is
another-
for Martha.
I will say, again, on the second viewing, it wasn't as, like, unintentionally funny as it was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was...
He's coming for you! Ding, 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 ding.
The Martha scene was... There's more to read into that than just because their name is Martha. I see that as being the thing that snaps him out of it, and then he's
Yeah,
like,
and I do
What does
like...
that
Well, that's what,
mean?
Raises his attention.
Yeah, and
Gets him-
I do like how...
throws him off.
Yeah, and before that, he'd never thought of Superman as being a person.
Yeah.
He thought of him as this alien who's got all these powers, but he's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, he's got a mom. He was
Yeah.
raised on Earth.
And then here comes Lois to save the day.
I do actually like after he finds out that, and you see his reaction where I think that's when Batman
What do you
sees his
mean?
Yeah.
detective skills and piecing things together. It's like, wait,
Wait, we have the same mom?
we've been duped. Another thing too, back I guess more of a negative, even though I was a bit more positive there.
No, let's
Like-
keep it going.
Like
Upbeat.
when
Yay,
Superman,
yay,
like,
Martha's
when
Mother's
Lex
Day.
was basically told Superman, he's like, I got your mom hostage. Superman can fly really fast and has X-ray vision. He could have just been like, okay, phew, X-ray vision, finds out where his mom is, breaks in the building, like karate chops to the goons, saves his mom in like 30 seconds, and then goes back to Lex Luthor's like, here's my mom, karate chop, or throws him into the sun because
Happy Martha's Day.
Yeah, Happy Martha's Day. That was so dumb. Where
But
he's
that's just a movie plot hole. Like, you can complain about it, but it's like you gotta have a way for them to end up fighting one way or another.
But it could have been so simple as just them being like, I don't like the way you're doing things. Bam, that's your clash. And then that's when Doomsday or whoever shows up, and then they're like, okay, let's not fight. We'll fight this guy, and then we'll fight each other again later. But then they're like, well, we can't fight each other now. We gotta form the Justice League to fight this greater threat. I feel like that could have, and that's a very simplified version, but I feel like that would have been better than just like, again, Lex Luthor manipulating everything else.
They need to say those words exactly. We need to form the Justice League. What's a Justice League? I don't know, but we gotta do it.
We'll be ready to fight.
Yeah. I don't know, like, any other things on Batman v Superman?
You're still wrong.
I don't think I think my opinions are justified.
This is going to... I'm gonna bring this up again and again at work.
How many popcorns? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd give this on 3.5 out of 5.
like a 3 popcorn.
All right, that's a good movie.
That's fair,
Three,
yeah.
3 out of 5.
That's a
That's
recommendation.
good.
That's a recommendation.
Again, like,
It's a good movie.
even though, like, again, at work,
Not
we
great,
had a bit
not
of a
terrible.
debate going on to some of our other coworkers who hadn't
That you
seen
didn't
it.
I'm pretty
record.
sure they were...
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure they were getting fed up with it, too.
probably. But I did tell him, I was like, look, I didn't care for it. You've heard my problems. I still recommend you to go see it, because it is a divided movie.
We took you from a 2 out of 5 to a 3 out of 5 after this group therapy.
I'd say that's a success.
Sure. It's still just okay. It's got a lot of
I'll give it
problems.
3.75.
There you go.
Cool.
We're all in the 3 range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's okay.
Pressure's
Could've
on
been
you,
a lot better.
Dave.
Dave.
Well, I think actually Dave liked it more than I did too.
Less
which
than I
was-
did, though.
It was still weird knowing that.
So he's at 3.25.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
I don't
what
know
we're
how
doing.
Dave lives with it though, because like after I expressed, like I was like, I don't really care for it that much. You all were like, what?
No, right after the movie,
Because it was you
Yeah.
this time.
Like I
Soon as
guess.
the-
Had it been Dave or something, it'd be like,
whatever, it's Dave.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
expecting it.
As soon as the credits rolled, you were just like, what a letdown.
Yeah, I was
Pretty
like,
sure
oh,
Did you all stay till the end of the credits?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Oh, yeah, we did. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Ah,
First time.
yeah, but yeah, I was
I
kind
knew,
of like,
but I was like,
that movie was a little bit of a letdown, and I guess like I expected
Cricket.
you all to have a bit more of the same mentality. You were like, I really liked it, and I was like, oh,
it was good.
I'm now the Dave, and I felt horrible.
How do you live with yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah,
how do you
how
live
do
with
you-
yourself, Dave?
What's it like being Dave?
It sucks. I keep trying to express why, like my feelings, but nothing
You're wrong.
happens.
Did you hate Deadpool the second viewing?
No, Deadpool's a great movie.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
I will say,
I'm just
probably
making sure you're not going to start going down this dark path that I cannot follow.
No, Deadpool was great. Just Batman v Superman was just okay.
I will say Bats v Soups would have been even better if Deadpool had come out after it, or if it had come out before Deadpool.
I thought you were going to say come in it. The movie. I
Oh,
was
that
like,
would have been amazing.
I was like, yeah.
But, because a lot of the tropes that Deadpool made fun of were in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, like the heroic landing.
The
and stuff
superhero
like that.
landing.
Yeah.
It's so impractical.
Yeah.
Like murder on your knees.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, I don't know, I guess that's our thoughts on Batman v Superman.
It's not as bad as your
No, again,
you're justified in what you're saying,
I think,
but
I
you
think
still gave
they're
it a 3 out of
warranted.
5. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I gave it a 3, just a solid.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. That's good.
Okay.
There's better
Well, I
things
mean, like,
than there are
3.5.
worse. No,
Yeah.
no, you found better than worse
Yeah.
with that rating.
Yes. I think there were enough scenes.
I'm not going to talk you down to 2.5, but I'm just we'll just
Yeah,
leave it at
yeah,
3.
let's just leave
Leave
it.
it at that. You love the movie. Let's move on.
Didn't love it. But
That
well,
one
yeah,
scene
let's,
where no.
let's move on. Daredevil season 2 because we
No.
haven't got to talk about that.
Not really a whole lot to say, I guess.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say it's great.
All right, season 1 or season 2, preferably
Ooh.
what we got.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
That's my Facebook status with
Yeah.
Daredevil season 2. It did more wrong than season 1, but there was also so much more they did right.
Yeah.
I
And
think-
really,
yeah.
even the things they did wrong were nitpicks for me.
Well,
Like, they weren't like major issues where I'm kind of like, oh, they did this wrong, and started blogging on the internet.
the major issue was Nobu. He just was
Yeah.
not compelling at all. He just came out of nowhere, and it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're that ninja he burned to death that one time. I don't care.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah.
But I loved the scenes where like Kingpin is in prison because I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he might show up for like maybe 1, maybe 2 episodes. And I think he was in 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. But they were so good, and I
Yeah.
loved his interaction with the Punisher. Which I think he like John Bernthal needs like an Emmy nomination at least. Like he doesn't have like I would like him to win, but he needs to at least be nominated because he killed it. Like he elevated everyone else in that show. Like when he was acting against anyone else, it was just like they're good, and then he just brought it up even more. And he even like brought a more like human element to the Punisher that like isn't really typical
Yeah,
of like the comics.
I mean, I like
Not-
the Punisher a whole lot in this series, and I
Yeah.
like him in the comics.
Oh
So
yeah, I love him. In the
you
comics.
being a Punisher guy, I would
Yeah.
automatically assume you're gonna like season 2 more.
They're about even. Like
Okay.
I think
I mean,
have to...
they're still about even for me. I think I'm probably lean 1 right now. Just I think because it was the beginning,
Yeah.
and just kind of the excitement too, drawing back personally.
Yeah.
I will say I won't consider myself a Punisher fan per se. Not that I ever disliked the
Yeah.
character. I just never really
Yeah,
Read into
Got it.
him and everything.
never really got into him.
he was never marketed for kids anyway.
Yeah.
And even as an adult, I was like, Punisher's a thing that exists, and that's about it.
Well, it's like when those Punisher films were coming out, we were still young
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a way to not like really fully understand what it was or allowed to see it. At
I actually
time.
was like
Yeah.
super pumped as a kid when the 2004 one came out.
See, that shows your fandom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because just because I saw him in that like 1 or 2 episode story arc in the animated Spider-Man, I'm like,
Yeah,
I like that guy. And when I heard they were making a movie, I'm like, Dad, can I go see that movie? And my dad likes Punisher too, so he's just kind of like, yeah, let's go.
it's got John Travolta.
Yeah. Although
See,
I was actually worried that John Travolta was going to play the Punisher. I'm like,
Oh, man,
I
that
don't know
would've
about
been
that.
great.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
For the wrong reasons, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you with a gun here.
But anyways,
You
back
wanted
to
to spell your name. Yeah, as a not really fan of the Punisher, I'd say this. Really,
Quit being a hater.
I'm.
quit being the Dave.
Season 2 sucked.
Yeah, that was horrible. I'd say this.
Glad Electra's gone.
Spoiler, of course.
She'll be back, just like
Yeah.
Superman.
Because it's comics, no one actually dies
Yeah.
for good.
But no, this is a positive. I'm not being the Dave. It actually kind of made me more interested in the character.
I have
in this
several
version.
comics if you want to read them.
Yeah, maybe.
What are you planning to read?
I do have a thing for that.
Yeah. Let's discuss Daredevil season 2 a little bit more, then we'll go into the last bit.
What
like
was your all's
Electra.
feelings on Electra?
I liked her.
Yeah, I really
Yes,
liked her.
I like-
She's hot.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, that's
extremely
just
hot.
kind of like
She's
the whole,
extremely-
the Wonder Gal when we were talking about
She
earlier.
really is.
If she's hot on camera, and then her character adds more to that, it just
Yeah. But
gives
I
her the
think
1-2 knockout.
one thing that I love too is they pull off perfectly their like Matt and Elektra's relationship just from like the Frank Miller comics where like Matt knows she is awful. Like
Yeah.
they are not good for each
Oh,
other
yeah.
at all. Yet that's what the opposite attracting because like even she's kind of like, well, you're kind of a half measure. You should kill people. But that's what attracts them so much, and so I like the fact that they're almost like a drug for each other, where they're like,
Yep.
I hate you, come here, and then they just start making out.
Slap her and then he starts kissing her.
Yeah.
I did like how there was a little bit of Daredevil being like, no killing, we don't do that. But then by
Yeah.
the end of it, he was like, okay, I'm not going to do it, but you guys, whatever.
It was
I
like,
like
yeah.
that.
Well, it also reminded me in comics where Batman and Catwoman would hook up and stuff,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
would be fighting
They-
with himself inside.
Yeah, it's kind of that same relationship where they know they should not be with this person.
It's
at all.
wrong, but it is right.
Yeah, but that's the whole passion behind it. Is 'cause,
Yeah.
like, you're awful. I'm gonna punch you, but then I'm gonna make love to you so
I'm gonna
hard.
punch you right in the vagina with my penis.
Yeah, that's like their whole relationship. I think they executed it perfectly.
Yeah,
in
and I
Daredevil.
liked Elektra before they
I love
announced
her.
she was going to be
Yeah.
on the show. I just didn't know much about the actress playing.
Yeah,
I loved her in Gods of Egypt.
yeah, she was pretty good.
She was the...
I loved Gods of Egypt.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
great
a great movie.
for what it
Five,
is.
5 out of 5 popcorns.
I'm
Yeah.
already doing my 2016 list. It's already number
Yeah.
one. Spoiler. Rogue One 2.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like there were again like I get that. I guess kind of the downside to having not a definitive villain like how Kingpin was in season 1. They had
Yeah.
just the organization, the hand, and they were like, well, we gotta have kind of someone as the face. Let's bring back Nobu. Which they did hint at a bit that there was something abnormal about him in season 1. Because remember when like Stick and Matt are at the docks and he's kind of like, yeah, since like X amount of heartbeats, but there's one that's different. And that's when Stick's like, yeah, that's Nobu. Which I didn't pick up on that the first time I watched the first season, but then when I rewatched it, before the second one came out, I picked up on some of these things. And there are also some things that I liked, like they're getting more into mysticism elements.
I don't mind that at all. It's definitely getting more comic book.
Oh yeah. So I am all for them just again Marvel and DC both just being like comic books, space, magic, in your face, deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got so much material out there
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
dives into that they haven't even touched on screen.
Yeah. So
So you got to like its chances.
DC needs to stop being obsessed with the origin era and the retired Batman era. There's so much like in between that they need to do.
yeah.
But Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil again, like, and I love this costume.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't super comic accurate, I thought it was still good.
Still look
enough.
good.
Yeah.
It was looked more functional actually than
Yeah,
the
that-
comic book,
yeah.
really.
And I guess like one little nitpick was like in the advertising for season 2, they had like Punisher like with his classic skull emblem with like a minigun. He did not use that minigun once.
That is kind of a
And,
letdown.
Like that scene where like, cause I think in one of the trailers, there's like a whole bunch of ninjas on the rooftop where Daredevil's fighting them. The actual season, there's like half a dozen maybe.
It did really seem weird. Like they showed like a whole bunch. Even in the scene in the show, they showed like
Yeah.
50 ninjas coming, and then it was like maybe
Yeah.
20 or so around them. It
Yeah.
seemed like where are all the ninjas? I mean, I guess Punisher killed him off screen.
But I would have loved
Maybe
to
he
see
did it
that
with-
on screen.
maybe-
I got
did it-
scared and went home.
Maybe he did it with his minigun. Off
Which
screen.
it was kind of cool when he did show up at that end fight with like that sniper rifle and he just picks those guys off. He's like, "You're good to go now, Red." And I was like, "Yeah!" But I still would have. I was expecting him to like ninjas.
Yay, but I still want more.
Yeah, like I was hoping that like after he picked those 2 guys off the sniper, like 6 ninjas would be behind him and be like, and he'd be like, and he just drop the sniper and like pull out guns and kill all of them in like in a cool Punisher fashion. But again, minor nitpicks.
Yeah. So,
Overall, it doesn't.
As
hurts
a
the season.
not fan of Punisher, I wasn't really upset about the minigun thing.
That wasn't.
'Cause I know that's a
Yeah, but it outweighed like the scene.
No,
especially the
it doesn't
carousel
affect.
scene.
Yeah.
I love that carousel scene where he just like takes all those guys out. Basically all his scenes where he's like killing people. I was like, they nailed the Punisher. They even took like very much scenes from the Garth Ennis run, the Punisher Max. They tweaked them a little bit, but they basically like ripped them straight out of the comic and like, here you go. And so I was eating that up. Like anytime he was like blowing people down with like in his Punisher fashion, I'm just like, I was like a giddy little schoolgirl.
You heard it here, folks. Jake just went eee.
I did, but
And he does the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
I can't deny it.
He like to do the cha-cha.
But yeah, Daredevil season 2 I thought was phenomenal. But when they did announce Elektra, did you guys think that she would die, or were you like, yeah, she might be in it and then die later?
I suspected she would die. I wasn't
Yeah.
about like seeing Doomsday in the Batsby.
It's like in Daredevil 03.
Yeah.
Wake me up inside.
Like for me, I was
wake
kinda
up.
Save me from the
Save me.
nothing I've become.
I don't know if you guys can actually sing the song. We might get sued.
No, we can sing it as long as we
Okay.
don't play
The butchered
the song.
version
cool.
of
Yeah.
Evanescence, who doesn't even perform now.
Yeah. But oh yeah, like when they announced Elektra, I was like, cool, Elektra. But then I was like, wonder if she'll die or not. But then that scene before they go out and fight the ninjas, where Matt's like, I'm gonna give all of it up and be with him. I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
That was that thing where I'm like,
That was
she
like
might
that-
live maybe. But then as soon as he's like, I'll give it all up for you, I'm like, oh.
It was a very Gwen Stacy Spider-Man.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with Karen Page.
Yeah,
It's like when.
She's gonna
What
do it,
season
yeah.
are they going to do it?
Yeah.
maybe 3.
I'm thinking 3, but it depends on how much further they want to go with the show. It's
Yeah.
obviously a hit.
Oh, they're
So-
definitely gonna do like I'd say 3 seasons tops, probably more.
I'd
I'd
say
say
at least
more.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so much source material with Daredevil. You can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think
Presumably he's gonna show up in Infinity War. Maybe
that would be awesome.
he
I
is.
don't know what he would do against Thanos. It's like, yeah, Billy
Well,
Clubs.
I figure the Avengers and Guardians will be up fighting him in space, and the people like Daredevil and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones will be fighting like minions on Earth or something.
Okay, yeah, I can see that working.
Yeah. And Spider-Man.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
How are you?
Yeah. Any other things about Daredevil before we get to our last segment of this podcast?
I like the Luke Cage teaser.
Oh yeah, the Luke Cage teaser was pretty kick-ass.
I just want like 13 episodes straight of him just beating motherfuckers.
Yeah, especially if it's like that bar scene of Jessica Jones where he's just people are like using all their strength and effort, and he's just like swatting them away. It's like,
Yeah.
please, backhanding him and like throwing him across the bar. I love that scene. So yeah, I'm all for just 13 episodes of him.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. No story, no real dialogue except one-liners. He's just beating motherfuckers for like 13 straight hours.
What's his catchphrase? Like Holy Christmas.
Holy Christmas.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas.
Sweet Christmas.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas, and then just starts beating people down. That's what Luke Cage needs to be.
Yes.
Marvel.
Yeah.
So listen to us.
Listen to us. Pay us money for the idea that we
Yeah.
just had.
Listen to
For
us
the
also.
series that you've already probably filmed or are filming.
Yeah, it comes out in September. They're done.
Yeah.
But scrap it all, reshoot it with our idea. And also Warner Brothers and DC, listen to us as well. I think we can make your franchise better.
Yes.
Um,
Aquaman jet skiing on sharks.
Shut the hell up. No. No,
No, it needs to happen.
it does not.
Accept it, Jake. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you will be happy when you see it happen in the
I'll be
movie.
happy.
With Fonzie,
Hey.
the originator of Jumping the Shark.
He's gonna
Yeah.
get his hair cut, but he'll keep the goatee, so he'll be like the brave and the bold Aquaman.
Okay. So what are we calling our new segment? We don't want to be a complete ripoff of Mr. Sunday.
Yeah, what's a roundabout way of saying the things that we have? Well, all right, here are the things that we have experienced.
Okay.
How's that?
What are we experiencing?
I will go last because I've got a whole tirade to go on.
Okay. So I recently, speaking of Aquaman, I read Volume 3 of New 52 Aquaman, Thrill of Atlantis, earlier today, and it was fantastic.
Did he jet ski on sharks?
He was not.
0 stars.
You really do need to read New 52 Aquaman. It's
Just-
amazing.
Does he ever jet ski on stars? On sharks?
He does not. He does.
Not interested.
Yeah, it's great. You all should read it. And I guess like something that I'm gonna read next is this cool space western comic called Copperhead, which I'll let you all know what I feel about that when I read it.
I do like the sound of that.
Yeah, I like space westerns. So
I like space.
yeah, space is great too.
Space is a place.
So, let's see. I haven't really read anything recently.
Well,
I'm trying to think
it
back.
can also be things you've watched or...
Well, I went to a concert last night, if that counts for anything.
Oh, yeah, you were
Saw
at the,
David Gilmour
yeah,
in Chicago of
of
Pink,
Pink
Floyd,
Floyd
the
fame.
guitarist. It was an amazing and incredible show. Played 3 hours.
Damn.
All the hits, solo stuff, Floyd stuff, shredding on the guitar. Man's 70 years old, still going at it like a pro, and one of the best shows I've ever been to. So that's that. And then something that I'm planning to read, this whole DC Rebirth thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I plan on jumping in on that.
Starts in June.
Oh, yeah.
I won't read everything, obviously, but I definitely want to get the main things. Kind of like I did with New 52 when it came out in 2011.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they're doing it just to... Because I've gotten behind on DC stuff.
Completely.
Whether it's story arcs or mainly for money. The only thing I've really just kept with the whole time is Batman, which has been great. But I definitely, want to read Batman, a lot of the Bat Family stuff, some Green Lantern, check out Aquaman, Flash, that whole thing. So I'm glad they're doing it, and I look forward to it. I think they're coming out with a previews thing here next month, or next week, and then June is when it actually gets going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and May's going to be that Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, too.
I kind of forgot about that just because I hadn't seen it displayed, but looking forward to that, too.
Yeah, Space Ghost teaming up with Johnny Quest. Oh, yeah. Is that the end of your...
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do what I'm going to read first, because it's shorter, more positive.
No, what are you experiencing?
Yeah.
I experienced Floyd.
What I'm about to experience... I still haven't read the things we picked up when we went to A+, but they're on the list.
I wasn't there when we went to A+.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay,
yeah.
No, sorry.
I got volume, I think, 2 of Harley Quinn, New 52. I'm gonna read volume 1 of Saga.
Saga's so good.
And
Did you actually buy that, or?
Yeah, I bought it.
Okay, good choice.
And then I also bought Kingdom Come.
Oh, Kingdom Come's so good, too.
Which, I hear really great things about. The artwork looks beautiful.
Yeah,
so
everything about that is fantastic.
I'm probably going to read that later tonight.
I would highly recommend that.
Alex Ross also drew the cover for the Space Ghost comic, just saying. Alright. Here's the thing that I have experienced.
This will be good.
I don't know what's coming now.
I'm going to move this a little closer to me so all this gets picked up.
Please.
Alright. You all may not know this. I'm a long time, like well over... Most of my life I've been playing the Phantasy Star series of games. Mm-hmm. Fantasy spelled with a PH, like the word
the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
That masterpiece.
I'll get to that. It started with Phantasy Star Online, also known as PSO. Mm-hmm. I played it on the Xbox. I was kind of late to the game to that one, but I played it for a good 2 or 3 years. It was an online RPG. Mm-hmm. Not really MMO because you had lobbies and it was kind of like that but simplified. Xbox 360 comes around. I get into Phantasy Star Universe or PSU. It was honestly a very solid game. It was just kind of poorly managed in the United States. It's a Japanese thing, and they put more attention on it over there, as they tend to do.
Yeah.
That went on for a good while. Eventually, it got canned, as things do. Mm-hmm. And then recently, they exclusive for PC and I think PS Vita, so just for PC basically, because no one has a Vita. Mm-hmm. They put out PSO2, Phantasy Star Online 2. There's a lot of things I like about the game. It's got solid gameplay. It doesn't quite have the heart that previous installments in the franchise have had for me, but I've enjoyed it well enough. Mm-hmm. And then,
here we go.
Earlier this year, they released PSO2 The Animation. It is a tie-in anime series, and it is it's an irredeemable pile of garbage. It is my Phantom Menace. I have never in my life, before now, I've never understood the hatred for the Phantom Menace. I never understood the hatred for really any work of fiction. Mm-hmm. I never got it, because I was like, well, whatever, it's fine. If it's not good, whatever. I get it. This is thoroughly horrible from start to finish. I'm allowed to use foul language on here, right?
What stopped you before?
Okay, yeah.
You actually asked?
What's going on with you?
This might be the most foul I've ever used.
Quit showing respect.
It might be the most foul I've ever used, but alright. It is fucking horrible. It's
swear words.
Alright.
Stranger danger.
Phantasy Star as a franchise has been usually it's been kind of a Japanese Star Wars. It's in space, no planets that we really recognize. There's not any mention of Earth.
Yeah.
The anime is about kids in high school who
love it.
Play the game.
It does sound pretty terrible.
It's about kids who play the game, and then they're like, oh, if you've seen Dot Hack, I like Dot Hack. This is not Dot Hack. It's about. I keep saying it's just it racks my brain. It's about kids in high school who play the game. How do you do that? How do you fuck up a franchise so bad that you go from being basically the Japanese equivalent of Star Wars to being every anime ever? Most generic. I can't even remember a character's name.
He is very passionate right now. You can't see it.
I'm scared.
I watched all 12 episodes. I don't know a single character's name. They might as well just be named after anime archetypes. The only, it adds nothing to the franchise. It is literally 12 20-minute commercials for a game that's not even that great.
Wow.
Fuck this show. Fuck you, Sega. I did make a brief review on this in the Anime Amino, but no one saw it. But to quote,
I missed it.
yeah,
I'm not an anime, you know.
don't blame me.
Never mind.
It's kind of horrible. But
Okay.
to quote Noah Antwire, the Spoony one, before he went all crazy, but still when he was kind of crazy, but good crazy, after seeing some XCOM game at one of the E3s. Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
You even uploaded that video
Yeah.
of that one song.
This show sucks! Fuck you, Sega. You killed Phantasy Star. Fuck you!
There we go.
Stop.
Some passionate words.
I've never in my life witnessed a franchise strung out in front of me, beaten to death savagely, and then its corpse desecrated like I have with PSO2 the animation.
I love it. All right.
The animation's not terrible.
Just the reaction people were having after Phantom Menace going home. Typing on AOL.
I think that's
Man.
about.
Dial
I
up.
think that's all I've got to say. If I think of any more, I'll just blurt it out.
Part 2 continued video on the Reverend Spaceman exclusive channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I uploaded a video to my channel. I didn't monetize it because I don't know if it's really fair use or not. But I took the opening and ending animations, whatever, from the show, and I just cropped it with an extended version of the Spoonie's Betrayal song that he played in front of his Ultimate Reviews.
Yeah.
Because
I watched it.
It's a thorough betrayal.
Not having any context, I just assumed you were pretty pissed about whatever that was. But yeah, anything else we're experiencing?
I don't
before we
think
wrap
we
this
can
up?
continue on.
Anyone want to try to top that?
No.
Nah, I think that's
So Jake, did you like Batman v Superman more than I liked PSO2 the animation?
Yeah, I think I did.
I give it 5 out of 5 piles of shitty garbage. Piles of fucking shitty garbage. That felt good.
All right.
You better upload this.
Oh no, I will.
I want to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, so I should have this up tomorrow.
All right. You better.
So yeah, I guess any closing statements?
Fuck you, Sega. Just fuck
All right.
everyone. Fuck everyone involved in that.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. You can still sponsor Sega?
Oh yeah, if you want to sponsor us, I'll say the best things ever about it.
We will sell our souls.
Yeah, if you give me money, I will sell out completely.
Yeah.
But until then, fuck you. Fuck you. Hard, rough, no lube, painful, and you're gonna like it.
All right. That wraps this up. Until next time, everyone. Cheers.